Now, this is something that Ling has actually lost to in the past, not SAs, but against Lights Roy. The ability to zone break and put on a lot of damage against LingLing will be something he has to be able to contest with. However, Peach in this game, potentially one of the top 5, if not a contender for the best character in the game early on in terms of people's opinions. And LingLing showing full suit what combos he could pull off, but SA just fair trading him off to the side, getting him all the way up to 55.
Yeah, Roy's frame data is just really impressive sometimes. I mean, people say Crom's really good, but Roy, pretty.
I'm glad you brought up Crom, because a lot of people are forgetting that Roy also got, or at least not so much forgetting, but not paying attention to the fact that Roy also has all of these improvements to his frame data and his ability to play. But that's not where you want to be, putting his setup a little bit over the ledge, catching that fair, and LingLing taking first blood.
And yeah, LingLing, I mean, I feel like he's always been a really consistent player. In terms of being good with technical skills and not really dropping games that he shouldn't.
I won't so much say shouldn't, but I get what you mean, because usually he will only lose to people such as Light or top contenders in the area. It's very hard to get a win off of LingLing because of his natural consistency and the work ethic he puts. But again, SA, another one of these players who has really put into work to show that he deserves to contend with the big boys, always getting himself to his top 8s and taking us off of LingLing, putting himself on the board.
Now, the two of them just kind of throwing out aerials right now, just trying not to. I mean, both of them have really solid combo potential, so I feel they're both respecting each other's range.
I like where SA's putting it as well. He's trying. Oh, that's unfortunate. Trying to delay it a little bit too long, to go for the up B, and accidentally dancing Blade off stage. That's going to give LingLing a free stock that he's going to take every time. But actually recognized that he was going to tech that neutral get up and didn't have anything to answer for it. Perfect spacing for that really on LingLing's part, because that could have been a stock at 47% at the ledge. Roy hits so hard.
Yeah, and a lot of players kind of get scared on ledge and accidentally fall too. So that's good from Ling, that he's composed.
Exactly. I mean, SA also keeping his composure as well. Even with this deficit he faces, he's done a good job of still establishing pressure against LingLing. Good DI to get himself back in the stage versus being off. Taking 96%, trying to go off to the side of the stage, but LingLing taking the correct route, gonna still live.
Yeah, Roy, let's see. I think he actually is really good on ledge. I mean, Crom's good, but also Roy. I mean, if you accidentally roll into his forward smash or something like that.
Even F tilt, just the sweet spot of F tilt is also a very strong kill move. And it was strong in the last game, and SA was able to pull that off consistently. And he's still continuing to show it in this. However, the problem now is that this percent hill is continuing to climb, and he hasn't been able to just seal out the second stock.
Yeah, I mean, Peach, she's floating around you and all that, so it can be really hard to get a hit on her. And grabs are hard to get to as well, just because of the aerial move.
Now, one big difference between Crom and Roy as well, though, is kind of similar to the Marthusina thing, getting caught by the Peach Bomber, and that is going to seal out the first game. There was a lot of situations where Roy hit Sour Spot at the tip end of his sword. LingLing will take that every time because he's not going to die. But if that was Crom, he would have been dead. So we'll see if maybe SA thinks about going Crom, but I don't think he will. He's kind of a loyalist to the Roy, and well-suited for so. He's very, very solid at the character. Personally, my opinion is that a lot of people should consider picking up Roy if you're playing Crom right now, because potentially he's going to get hit at some point. It's early on in the game, and he's already this solid. Nintendo has shown that they're not afraid to pull the trigger on nerfs. So think about it. Maybe you might want to pick up a Roy too. We're going to go into game 2 here. I think we're just running it right back to PS2 if I saw that correctly. No, actually we're going to run it to FD. I actually kind of like this because now SA can force Ling to have to float and not be able to chase him on platforms. He could try and harass his landings a little bit more. But Ling not really given an opportunity for that. 0 to 65 unanswered. 78.
I mean, Roy though, pretty good at covering landing options just because of his aerial drift and his fast dash speed. So
yeah, his overall speed to be able to get back in as well to cover that type of damage. And again, though, that's it. He didn't even need to go for the nair, but just to make sure and seal the deal. But that's one of the issues that a lot of these characters on the high level end of play, they all consistently have pretty bad recoveries, except for Peach and Inkling really so far. Actually, no, not true. Pikachu has a really good recovery. Never mind, I'm a fraud.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people like characters like Wolf or Roy, and I mean, I feel yeah, but a lot of characters can gimp pretty dominantly in this game. So if they get, I mean. If they win a neutral, they win off stage, and like sometimes they just get snuffed out unexpectedly.
They do have, you know, that SA does have the ability to run off fair, but with that flow, it's so scary because LingLing could just pace back and then make him eat, you know, like a reverse edge guard. LingLing very solid at getting reverse edge guards throughout his Smash 4 career, and consistently showing that he can still do it in this game as well. It hasn't come up yet, but I think SA for a reason has not gone off trying to take a reverse edge guard. Good air dodge to avoid the turn up that time, but LingLing catching his overzealous jumps. He's been jumping a whole lot in that time, double jumping at the ledge. LingLing just gonna smack him away from the with the bear, and so far a 3-1 lead, looking pretty grim for SA. Ooh. Taking 58% from 0,
oh,
and he had the answer. He was like, "I'm going out on my own terms. Throw out the fair." That side B definitely would have sealed it out, but. That was all the LingLing show in that last game there. It was looking pretty okay for SA in the first game, but he just couldn't adapt to how well Ling was outspacing him. Yeah. And that is a bit of a problem with Roy with the fact that he has the sweet spots. But you have to be able to get in.
Yeah. I mean, Roy, his sour spots can actually contribute to his combo game, but I mean, this game we just kind of saw Peach kind of not really letting him get a solid hit into lead into anything. So.
Yeah. In case anybody who does happen to know, I am Ajax. If you have never met me before.
It's in the system with your sponsor first. That's I don't remember your sponsor.
Oh, you keep forgetting. It's FP.
FP.
Yep, FP. Like, yeah, fail proof. No, it's not fail proof.
Flashpoint.
Yeah. Fireproof. That's not true either. But you know, there I am. It's all caps. It's all caps. I'm very picky about that. I'm sorry. But anyways, you know, if you guys are in the chat, and of course, you know, if you're always here, we appreciate you. If you're new to the chat, hit the follow button, because this is something that happens every single Monday. The last couple of weeks we had 76 and 110 respectively, which never happens around here. And this week we have a Sunday tournament, which is not normal, but we have Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve coming up, and we're not going to do a tournament on the holidays. But make sure you guys tune in. That way you can be involved with the Connecticut Smash scene. This is the House of CT, and if you happen to be in the area, please come through. It's in Manchester, Connecticut at the Grid. And if you are on the south side, check out places such as Battlegrounds at Norwalk, who's also actually on Sundays. We kind of, unfortunately, we're both on today at the same time, but you know, it's they wanted to make sure that there's still events going on here. I just put the headset on, so don't get mad at me. I don't work here, but you know, it's still great just to see the amount of people who are showing up, regardless of it being a pop-up tournament at 64 contenders. Fantastic.
Everyone gets $1.
We're all getting $1. Hey, we're all getting $1. Mike, all right, Mike Ray is actually distributing the pot out to everybody, $1 each. Now, talking on the other thing, we saw Obelisk. That is also the Melee events. There is other FGC events that happen throughout the weeks as well.